now. So I go back to the conversation at the end of the game Sunday. You love coming into other people's barns. And then I asked you about that earlier tonight. You said, I'm not sure how my team feels about that yet. How did you feel about the way your team handled their first trip into somebody else's place?
Hey, it's hard to win. I told the team after the game, people take it for granted. Anyone that's been a part of it understands that the other team has a plan. The other team's got good players. The other team's got a big staff that are game planning all week too. And there's a lot going on out there. And for these guys to obviously have a tough start. Their physicality, I thought, gave us some issues early. They hadn't been challenged that way all year long, so why wouldn't it be a little bit of a problem? I didn't like it, but having some time to think about it, it's pretty natural for that to happen. But we talked a lot about before we came out and in the huddles, we got to stick together. On the road, there's going to be problems, there's going to be adversity, and they did. And I'm super, super proud of them, and hopefully that's going to be a big win for us as the season unfolds.
Coach, what was the difference in your shooting in the second half as opposed to the shooting in the first half, where you got off to a terrible start, didn't shoot it very well, shot it really well in the second half? What was the difference?
You just gave me a softball. I'm sure I don't know if you're always honest on the radio or not, because if I was you and had the experience that you have, I would be cringing about some of our shot selections in the first 10, 12 minutes.
I didn't want to say that.
But I would have if I had your job. At least I think it's easy to say that right now. But we talked about it a lot in our huddles. Like, what are we doing? We can't win if we're off doing our own thing, and I hadn't got one off in a while, and then someone does it, and then it becomes my turn. And that was the most disappointing thing that we had going. Like, we had no chance to win this game if you guys don't work offense together and play together. And this team hasn't been that way. Like, it just, I don't know how it happened. I really don't. But I'm glad they corrected it, and that's the biggest difference of why we played better in the second half offensively, is they just played with each other and shared the ball and, got practice into the game, and that'll be a great film session for us to learn to go from.
Well, just so you'll know, during the game we did talk about 38 shots in the first half, and a lot of them were really quick shots. So we did comment about that in the first half, and I said that's going to be 76 shots. We don't take 76 shots in a game.
Well, listen, we're going to take more shots on goal than we have in the past. I think that's pretty obvious, and I'm okay. Like I don't want to go into the details of it, but it's for us that coach a certain kind of way and look at the game a certain kind of way. Like, we're actually better when we only have 2 or 3 passes and or we got 6 or 7, and so we're monitoring that all year long. But it's not about. Certainly at the end of the game, it's time and score, right? But for me, is that a good shot for us? It's a good shot for you. That's my thing. Is I want to give you freedom, and I want you to have confidence, and I want to play faster because we got more talent. But gosh darn, we can't be, having heat checks when you haven't made a shot yet, and that goes for everybody. And I love Josh Hubbard to death, and I walked out with him, and we talked about it, and I'm like, you can't do that, and he did it in the first half.
Well, he did it, and I think part of the problem was, he's the leading scorer. He thinks he has a lot on his shoulders, and they were doing a great job blowing up those handoffs that he usually scores on. He didn't get a lot of early shots, didn't get a lot of early looks, and he just felt like he had to get some.
Yeah, but guess what? He had 5 assists and 0 turnovers.
0
the streak
turnovers,
continues.
that's right.
Huh? And he guarded.
He did
guard it. And you know what? Last year, we don't win this game. We're on the road, we're behind, and he's 4 for 18. I don't think we're probably going to win the games. I don't think we can score enough. Again, 51 points in the second half. We had 50 the last game. That's what I thought. I want to play better to start the game. But if I'm going to have to choose, I want to play better the last 10 minutes of the game, than anything else.
Well, another, I think, factor in the game, the first half we did take those 76 shots. We turned them over some. We limited their shots. The second half, a little more patient. They're averaging 66 shots a game coming in every night. They got 47 shots for the game.
Yeah, it's a product of our offensive rebounding. It was really, really good for the most part, better in the first half than the second. And then another game, knock on wood, that we just really took care of the basketball. We've done a good job of that all year long. We were single digit again, 20 assists, 7 turnovers, 28 made shots. And, that's the thing. Guys will share with each other. We don't have to come down and manufacture one. When Hubbard gets on a heater, everyone in the gym knows it's going up. Yeah. Okay, and it should. No problem, right? But we don't have to necessarily to try to go find it, this particular team. But they stuck in there, man. They really stuck in there, and they stuck together. And it's 2 games in a row now that we had to come from behind.
Just a couple more questions for the coach. The second half, you didn't double team the big guy. First half, he hurt us with the double team, finding open players. Second half, and you were giving up something, but was that the plan to just play one-on-one?
Well, going to the game, you never know what the plan is. Just after advisement from our staff, and, he's a really good passer, and he's huge, and we're not huge. And some of our trappers weren't that big, and we weren't getting much out of it. They were game planning. I mean, a lot of teams are going to game plan for double teams and first 2 weeks out, and they've been doing it. And it'll be a back and forth, game within the game. And so we took it off. And then what we started doing is whoever was guarding 0, we ran off him. We changed it up there late and kind of got surprised, and we got him with 1. And then we actually played a couple, two possessions of zone down the stretch as well, and we haven't done that all year long.
The last thing for me, when Cam Matthews, you go small, Cam Matthews playing your 5 spot, you know he's going to be matched up against a big guy. Is that the plan, to get Cam one-on-one with him and drive the ball?
Well, it was a set.
Yeah.
I got to give Scott Padgett. It's not something that we had practiced. It was a set that I gave him the board, and he was talking to me in my ear, and I just show him. And we spread them out with the shooters and ran a little ghost screen with Hub because they don't like to switch with him. And that's what happened. And then Riley cut behind the play and dunked the ball, and it did really, really well. So kudos to Coach Padgett for thinking on his feet and figuring out what we needed to do to seal the game.
2 games in a row, Cam Matthews has impacted things late in different ways. It was free throw shooting against Utah last Sunday. He had 8 assists. That's a career high for him in the game tonight. And down the stretch, it seemed like he was the facilitator that was finding the right people to either get you buckets or get you to the free throw line.
Yeah, Cam Matthews stat line, like 6 points, and 5 rebounds, and 8 assists, and 3 steals, and just that warrior mentality. And he's a coach in our huddles, man. I'm just telling you, I'm listening to him as much as I've listened to any player in a long, 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 long time. Probably when I was at Wichita State with Fed Bleed, he just sees the game differently, and he's out there, so he's got better intel than actually we do. And I just love having him on our team.
And then was this the second game where we could say with Keyshawn Murphy, I know he fouled out, but could we say that what he's done in practice has gotten into the game for a second straight game the way he played tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be, he's just a little bit light, with some of these big guys that we're going to be facing in the next few games, and obviously in the SEC. And all year long, we're going to have to be really unique and have different looks to combat, the size that we're going to play against. And, Mike Nwoko obviously didn't have a great line or anything like that, but he gave us some strong minutes. He had 4 rebounds in 11 minutes, didn't turn the ball over, but we're going to have to continue to figure out how we're going to play on the basket.
Well, in a game like this, though, too, and going forward, bodies are worth something. Points and rebounds look great, but minutes are also important when you're going up against these big front lines, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, we fouled out, Mike fouled out, Murph fouled out, Melendez was in foul trouble, and we found a way to survive.
We can't get off there without you mentioning Melendez in the first half and Riley Kugel in the game. The contributions they made, they were great tonight.
I mean, Melendez hit a big 3 when we really needed it. He was defending, he was rebounding, he was staying organized. We ran a set for him late. We ran a reliable screen, and he got to the rim, and the dude just came out of nowhere. And I'm like, it was my call, and I'm like, whoops, that one didn't work. But we got to where I just didn't think he'd be able to block it like that. And then Kugel, 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row. He's a little under the weather today. We're a little nervous that way, but he got the gym, got warm up, and felt better. And obviously, I thought he had a nice game. It was on us. He missed those free throws. We were trying to get him out. He'd been there a long time. He got fouled, had the 3 shots.
Congratulations. Like you say, teams come a long way in a year, because this one a year ago, you don't know. But to walk out of here 1-0 on the road, great feeling, isn't it?
We're gonna enjoy this one. We celebrated in the locker room, and we had Dwayne Wade back there. He was at the game, so that we let him address the team. Him and his mom were in there, and the guys got pictures. So I'm not sure if they're more excited about the win than being able to chance to hang out with D Wade. But
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It was a bonus. It was a bonus. It's gonna be a fun ride home, guys. Thank you. Hail State.